Hey yo, what up? Going on? What's good? Realest one, slide accordingly. Mr. Slide accordingly. Like, share, subscribe, support the platform, support a real one. Wow, now that's a big one. That's a big one, fam. It go beyond wrestling, but if you are a wrestling fan, you already know how much of an effect this gonna have on every company. So Hulk Hogan passes away at 71 years old, fam. From what I'm seeing, they said the medics were dispatched to his house in Florida this morning. Operators saying it was regarding a cardiac arrest. I see they even got a clip or two up. I think it's on TikTok of them transporting Hogan and everything like that. They took him to the hospital, and that's where he was pronounced dead, at the hospital. Now, I guess before this, like a few weeks ago, I guess there was rumors going around saying Hogan was in a coma. I guess there were rumors going around saying Hogan was in a coma, some weeks ago. But his wife ended up shutting that down. I guess he had like a couple surgeries. That's from what I'm reading. You know what I'm saying? And at that time, they were saying Hogan was on his deathbed. You know how many times I've seen stories like that where they said this wrestler was dead or about to die? And first off, y'all shouldn't even play like that. You know what I'm saying? Anything for a damn click. But anyway, at that time, that got cleared up. Come find out it was just symptoms of a neck procedure that he had went through back in May. And here it is today. He passes away. Listen, if you're a wrestling fan, especially an OG wrestling fan, I don't even gotta sit here and tell you how big Hogan was to the game. You know how many these wrestlers we watch today that's gonna tell you, I want to be like Hogan. You know what I'm saying? You had Austin, Rock, Triple H, all them. Then you go back before that, Hogan was one of the first ones, you know what I'm saying, that people really, you know what I mean? He really like put WWE on the map at a time. They call that the golden era. I was never like major on him. You know what I mean? He was really my favorite wrestler, anything like that. Speaking of him not being a favorite, I see people kind of like, people are remembering Hulk a certain way, It ain't no secret, Hulk, he wasn't too fond of brown folks, man. He wasn't too fond of brown and black folks, man. And there was a couple instances where he showed that. So there's a lot of people who just ain't showing no type of sympathy for it. You know what I'm saying? And I can't even get mad at that or anything like that. If you're talking about somebody who hates your race, your ethnicity, hates you for how you look, then I mean, how much sympathy can you have for a person? But the way I look at it, I just look at it like this. I just always try to put the best, energy out to the world that I can. And I'm not going to sit here and talk down on the man. The man passed away. I don't get nothing talking about this man in a crazy way after he just passed. What do I get out of that? You know what I'm saying? I remember, because there was a couple different, like, controversial situations with Hogan. I remember he got inducted into the Hall of Fame back in 2005, right? But then he ended up getting removed in 2015 after that scandal situation that happened over racist comments while he was being secretly recorded during a sexual encounter. I kind of like half remember that. I don't even remember too much about it, but you do your research, it's there. It's going to pop up in your face. But then they did induct Hogan into the WWE again in 2020, but as a part of the NWO. So Hogan is one of those guys who got this crazy legacy that you can never look past, but there's stains on that legacy at the same time. I mean, depending on who you ask, because some folks, they going to remember Hogan for just being the wrestler that they watched that made them want to get into it. You know, he was one of them guys, man. Yo, I used to want to be like Hogan. Like, oh my God, I love Hogan so much. You know, I see that WWE had released a statement saying Hogan was one of pop culture's most recognizable figures. Hogan helped WWE achieve global recognition in the 1980s. That he did. WWE extends its condolences to Hogan's family, friends, and fans. You know, Hogan, he was in movies and all type of stuff. You know, he definitely was one of those guys, man. You know, despite the other stuff, you know, as far as, you know, career wise, oh yeah. And there ain't no way you could ever even mention wrestling without even saying Hogan's name. You know, that's just the facts of it. Remember the reality TV show they had on VH1, Hogan Knows Best. You know what I'm saying? With his wife, uh, his daughter, and you know, his son. I didn't even know this. This is news to me right there. Hogan was launching an amateur wrestling league called Real American Freestyle. And the first event was actually set to be in August 30th on Fox Nation. So I guess that's still gonna go down. You know, I'm pretty sure they're gonna keep it going to, you know, remember him and everything like that. But yeah, like despite the fact, however you remember him, choose to remember him, or just can't help but to remember him, you're gonna remember him. You know what I'm saying? There's only a few wrestlers that make it to pop culture status. And he was definitely one of the first to do it, if not the first to do it. I gotta say though, I don't know what the hell been going on lately. It been a lot of these celebrities dropping, fam. Ozzy Osbourne, what was that? Yesterday, the day before, he had passed away. You had the Malcolm Jamal Warner situation. Like all of that really just make you sit back and reflect for real, you know? Make the most out of every second, fam. Minute and hour. Day, week, month, yeah. Cause it's all a blessing. And it really can be going just like that. I mean, y'all let me know though, fam. Was y'all fans of Hogan? Maybe a little, not so much. Was you one of those people who grew up watching Hogan, you know, growing up? For me personally, it was the Attitude Era that got me into wrestling, into all wrestling. Rock Austin, Triple H, you know what I'm saying? All them dudes, you know what I mean? So my era was after Hogan and all of that. But y'all let me know, man. Realest one. Peace and blessings, comments, thoughts, opinions, and all of that. And again, please don't be scared to hit the like button. I don't know what it is about folks not want to hit that like button. It only take a second, and it always helps the content creator out. It only take a little, just like that, boom. Respectfully. Pass it along if you rock with a person's content. You know what I mean? But hey, Realest one, gone.